It's not a
when you're in a mini.
Hello, kiddies. Welcome to Dads From The
Hello, boils and ghouls. Welcome to episode 231 of Dads from the Crypt. My name is Jason. I'm joined by Mondo.
Hello.
And from the void, we have Jody.
Hello. Attempting to record in my car because we're having internet issues tonight.
And Jody's just like
We'll
this
see.
dark, disembodied head just kind of floating, and I'm really into it.
The white of my beard is really showing up.
I know.
Jason is putting this one in the bank here. It's fun.
Oh, yes. All right. How are we doing tonight? We're all tired. We're all grumpy.
Yeah, man. We're the epitome of grumpy old men.
Not a fan of daylight savings time change.
Yeah.
Like it's like the fall back is so nice. Like you get an extra hour of sleep. Yeah. You feel refreshed. It's great. The hour 4 just. The only negative about the hour back is my dogs don't understand why they haven't eaten yet. Yeah. But the hour 4, man,
yeah.
I'm still recovering from it. It's fucking. We're recording this on Wednesday. I'm still feeling it.
It takes me at least till the weekend afterwards before I start feeling like a human again.
Yeah, we're in the midst of like Little League.
Recover.
So we're in the midst of like Little League. So like our weekends are basically gone now in the mornings.
How was Little League?
Oh, well, there's a big windstorm, so I'm just standing on the middle of a field next to my kids, helping them like field the balls, and just like dust and pollen and stuff was just like kicking up everywhere.
At this point, you're probably pretty good though, right? You do pretty well against the kids.
Yeah, no, I beat the shit out of them.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Okay.
They're like, hold on a second. I don't think that guy is 10.
No, it's like a league where like the parents
Beer
come out and like help out the kids. It's like not competitive Little League.
When I was in Germany this past year, they do like a corporate baseball game. Mm-hmm. No offense to any Germans out there. Actually, one of the people on our German team played professional ball in the States. Well, he played AAA for our farm club, the Mets. But dude, the Germans, they don't watch baseball. So watching, like, if you are American, you've seen enough baseball or baseball movies to where you know how to kind of swing a bat. Yeah. Watching the Germans play was like if us three had to play soccer. Just think of it as that way. It's suddenly after work one day, we all have to play a competitive soccer game. Like no one was stepping into the ball to swing, and the guy that's an actual ball player, I can't play baseball right now because I have a bad shoulder and just I'm not gonna fuck it. If I fuck up my body, it's gonna be by doing jujitsu, not baseball. But swinging a bat, fuck. I tried taking a swing, and I fucking hurt my shoulder. And the guy from Germany goes, "If you're an American, you can be in a wheelchair and you're a better ball player than a German person." I just thought that was true. Shout out to my German team out there who's definitely not listening to this.
Well, maybe they should. Jody, do you have any updates on your plethora of podcasts?
We've got episode out right now. We've got another one coming pretty soon. I'm not sure exactly when our next release date is, but we talked about some anime children's cartoons on No Film Left Behind.
Like nice. Felix the Cat?
Yeah, it's a Sanrio. Hello Kitty. The company that made Hello Kitty made some dark stuff in the 70s, and that's what we talked about.
I am still completely not over the fact that the creator of Hello Kitty is trying to say that little girl is not a cat.
What is she?
Yeah. The girl in a cat costume.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not a real cat. Like
that's what they say.
Just fucks me up because why the fuck you name it Hello Kitty? Why can't you name it Hello Girl in a Cat Costume? I don't know.
Wow. So when you buy a doll, my daughter's Hello Kitty doll is really a doll of a girl in a cat costume.
100%.
Yes.
Whoa.
Correct.
Next thing you're gonna tell me is that Paddington's fucking not real. Like,
hey, Paddington is a treasure.
I still haven't seen it. I need to watch it because I feel like
you
it's gonna
need
be
to
like,
watch. Well, no, in this
need to watch
climate that we're in, if you're grumpy, watch that movie and you'll be on cloud 9.
Oh, as soon as I finish watching the 47 cuts of Texas Chainsaw Massacre included on the Chain Reaction DVD, I'm sure that's good for my mental health, right?
No, I'm just picturing Paddington, like, because there's that one guy who does like photoshops Leatherface into different movies.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
He did one with it. He's like in a scene in Paddington. So good. I do want to shout out the More Deadly podcast, our friends over at the Zombie Girls, Rachel and Ariel. They have a podcast called More Deadly, and I was on there probably the same day this comes out, within a day or so, with Casey from Bloody Good Horror to talk about The Bride. We have thoughts. Lots of thoughts.
Okay.
I won't say yet
I think
positive or
most people have
negative,
thoughts
but we
about
have
that
thoughts. Yeah, it's one of those movies
Right.
you're gonna have thoughts no matter what. We had a really fun discussion about it, so check that out. Also, check out our Patreon where we have reviews of newer movies, especially a lot from the last year, including Him, Together, Begonia, Good Boy, Stranger Things Season 5, 20 Years Later, The Bone Temple, Bone Lake, Scream 7, and me and Allison from the Who's There podcast do an episode where we rank the Scream series. It'll probably come out with a week after this episode comes out, so be on the lookout for that. Check out our Patreon. It's great to support us. You get all those at the $3 and above levels.
And if anybody knows Allison out there, her list is probably not like most people's list.
Yeah.
No,
she has Scream 3 way too high.
I like Scream 3s.
I was really disappointed by that movie.
I don't dislike any movie in the franchise, but there are definitely levels. Like I'll watch any of them, it's fine. But some definitely rise far above the others.
Well, I realized
on my list theater, and then I saw the theater was full, so I just canceled my ticket.
All right, well, let's get into it. Tonight, we're talking about the next Masters of Horror episode on our list. We're talking Season 1, Episode 5, Chocolates, which aired on November 25th, 2005. Jody, tell us what this episode's about.
All right, just a quick note. Since I am currently in my car, I don't have any notes in front of me. So this is going to be a trying to remember what happens in this episode.
You can make it short and sweet.
Yeah, just give us the basics.
Yeah, no, it's going to have to be. So we meet a guy played by Henry Thomas, little kid, E.T., from E.T. Here's what I found. And my watch just started talking to me. All right, so he starts having visions, dreams. Right. Did I lose you?
Oh,
No,
okay. Jody, you're...
Okay, I'm still here. Okay, so he starts having visions where he sees through this woman's eyes. He does not know who this woman is. Randomly, he'll have like a sense that will just cut out, like he won't be able to see or he won't be able to hear. So very confusing stuff going on, but he sees a couple signs in the visions. He sees a man and he feels the man having sex with the woman. So he gets to experience that. He also experiences her using a shower head on herself in the bathroom. So he
Can you elaborate? What was she doing? What was she doing with the shower head exactly, Jody?
You can figure it out. But he feels very connected to her, and so he manages to find just enough like landmarks that he can go and find her. But before that, again, this is me not having notes in front of me. He sees her kill her lover by stabbing him in the stomach and like slicing him all the way up, like from stomach to neck. And so he finds her. He's cool with her being a murderer. That doesn't bother him.
Well, he does
feels
murder.
connected to her.
she does murder the boyfriend because he does become abusive towards her.
Right. But it's still a very graphic murder. So
yes.
You know, I think if I'm like self-defensing, I don't generally split someone from like groin to gut, like they're all the way down the bottom.
But if you know what, the knife is already in there, like you don't know. You might as well just say, I'm already here. I might as well finish the work.
Just keep pulling on it.
Yeah.
But anyway, he goes to her and tells her all this. As expected, she's weirded out by the whole thing and don't want anything to do with this guy. She kind of acts like it for a little while, like acts like she's into it, but she's definitely not. And gosh, I'm trying to even think how it ends now. Someone else fill in the ending here, because I honestly do not
invites
remember.
him. Yeah, she invites him back to her place and kind of pretends that she's into him.
Mm-hmm.
At the last minute, I guess she like tries to poison him, and then they get into a fight. He ends up stabbing her because the whole time he's been telling the story.
That's right.
To a police officer while he's kind of covered in blood. And there's this part where he goes into his trance and he's seeing himself through her eyes. But he ends up shooting her. And then the episode ends and he gets taken away.
So I forgot because it's but because you know from the beginning through this narration that he murdered somebody, you know, the end is kind of anticlimactic for me. It's just okay. So the murder that we talked about the whole time, it happened. The end.
The thing you were expecting to happen actually happened.
Yeah.
All right, Mondo, what did you think of this episode?
It had its moments. I actually really like the main character and his office mate.
Yeah. I love that actor.
Yeah. Michael Farrer is his name, I think.
Matt Frewer.
Frewer.
Matt Frewer.
Yeah, I love the way he plays, like because he actually feels like that fun coworker that's just like he's not over the top. He's just kind of a wacky, kind of cool dude that just does his own thing. I love the fake mohawk that he's getting styled by the girl or whatever.
Because of course he's in the band.
Before they play like the worst like music you've ever heard in your life next to ska. But as an inside joke there, but so I love that character. I love their interactions. I think where this kind of falls off is the third act. I think it gets boring when he goes and finds her. It gets kind of awkward, and the writing's on the wall. What's going to happen? But much like Jody said, when the ending happens, you are kind of saying, "Okay, that's it."
Yeah,
because I've said before, you don't always need a twist to make something interesting. But when you're building something up the way this is built up with the guy talking to the police about it, you expect something more to happen than just, oh, yeah, I killed her and I got to see kind of my own death because we shared this experience. So I thought that was actually the worst part of the entire episode. I felt up until that, it felt very Tales from the Crypt. Again, smaller cast, condensed filming locations, I guess. And I was expecting there to be some kind of comeuppance, some kind of weird thing at the end that makes you go, oh shit, that's what was happening the whole time, when it ends up being very, very straightforward, which isn't always a bad thing. But I think in this case, you're just left wanting more. And I wanted more out of it, but I necessarily didn't want to watch more of it, if that makes sense. Which usually isn't the best way to end it. And it happens, right? They can't all be home runs. So didn't love it. But I don't think it was bad in any means. And I think some of the concepts in it were actually very, very smart and very, very well done. Like Jody mentioned, the death I thought the killing, I thought that was cool as shit. And the idea that he can feel like her pleasure and stuff like that if he focuses on it, I thought that was really, really neat and well done too. And the way how he's figuring out what's happening as he's looking in the mirror and seeing her in the mirror. I thought all that was pretty neat. But then I think that once you kind of figure out what's going on, they make no effort to have any intrigue, and it turns into just like a straightforward kind of story at that point.
Yeah. Jody, do you want to go or do you want me to go? Okay. I'll go ahead.
I muted him for a second, just FYI.
Okay. Yeah, this to me felt very rushed. Like it could definitely have used another couple drafts. Oh, we lost Shirley completely. But yeah, this felt like they had an interesting idea, but they didn't know where to go with it, or how to make it all tied together. Because why him? Why is he seeing her stuff? What's their like? There should be some connection. Again, like it'd be weird if it was completely random, or like
And they,
why now? Why this? Why that?
yeah, they kind of allude to it being the chocolate or something in there, but they never really expound upon that enough to make that angle interesting.
Right. It's just like, oh, we both like chocolate. So
Yeah.
do like hundreds of millions of other people who like chocolate. Like, it's one thing if they both had like the same kind of exotic chocolate from the rainforest of whatever.
Or could you see an ending where it goes on to maybe the police officer goes into his office and eats a piece of chocolate, opens up whatever, looks in the mirror, and he sees another body, and then it's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Then you get like, what was this?
Here's the ending I was expecting, was that in the end, she somehow swapped bodies with him. So this whole time he sees from her perspective, and then I thought when she dies, when he shoots her, she was going to jump into his perspective. Like that was going to be the twist this whole time. She's been the one that's telling the story, and turns out it's all bullshit. Kind of like a Usual Suspects, guys are associated kind of thing. That. I mean, you would have to, massage a lot of things to make that work. But I thought, like, okay, maybe that's the twist they're going with. That would have been a very Tales from the Crypt thing to do. But
yeah, I don't like that more.
But yeah, there's just really nothing there. It's funny because these are on Showtime, and there's some scenes and stuff that felt very Skinamax. If you ever want to see the kid from E.T. having an orgasm, if you want to see his whole face, this is where you go. There's that really awkward scene where like he's hooking up with this chick, and he's like jumping into this other woman's body and experiencing her orgasm, but like it looks like he's having a seizure. I don't know why this woman isn't like calling 911 or something. Like he's obviously like, and then his ex-wife and his kid walk in. It's just very awkward, like like overly intentionally awkward.
And it's kind of disappointing considering the good job they do at the beginning with the world building, and how I really, really enjoyed the interaction actually with him and his ex-wife and the son. Yeah. Like I thought that was actually very like it shows them both being good co-parents, which you don't see a lot. Usually they play that up for laughs or play it up as like, look how they're divorced and they hate each other. No, they seem like they're decent co-parents, right?
Like,
and
she
the way
changes her
kid,
yeah. She changes her shirt in front of him. That's how comfortable they still are.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay.
And when the kid says, "Daddy, are you coming back home?" He's like, "Nah, kid, we're not going to do that." Like the way but guess what? You get to have two awesome households now with an awesome mom and awesome. The way he does all that, I thought was just like I was like really like into the character. It helped me like really. I thought that was the best part of the show, and for it to kind of just abandon all that, then go off the way it did is I think what was disappointing about it too.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of potential here that I felt like they just did not. So this is written, directed by Mick Garris, the series creator. I felt like they had a gap in their schedule, and Mick was like, "Okay, I'll just bang one out," but he just kind of ran out of time.
So I read about this. This is based off a short story he wrote, like 20 years prior, and I'd be interested to actually read the short story if it's available. I didn't check to see if it's available out there. I apologize, but I think it'd be an interesting read just to see how that compares to what ended up on screen.
Yeah, because I feel like there's just like so much. I feel like there's so much more that we're missing, that really just was not filled in. But yeah, I love the actor Matt, however you say it, Matt Frewer. He has such an amazing IMDb. I'm going back to the beginning. He was Max Headroom from the 80s. Remember that?
Yeah, when I saw him, I had to look him up because he just has that. The way his face moves, like he has such good facial expressions that they just kind of eat the scene up.
He's the neighbor guy from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, the neighbor father. What else? He is. He was
in the Stand. He was in Quicksilver.
Yes, in the Stand. Lawnmower Man 2.
Which was not the Superior Lawnmower Man. That's saying a lot. National Lampoon's Senior Trip, which I remember watching back in the 90s.
Right. He was in the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Yep. He was in the Rampage films, which were very violent Uwe Boll films about a mass shooter. Where I don't know if you know this, in that they did it was a trilogy, and in the final one, it was about him basically going to the Capitol to take care of the president. It was back in 2014. I'm just saying.
No, we're not saying.
I
don't want us flagged.
There's a comedian, Kyle Kinane, and he made a joke. He says he's watching on Netflix some movie, and about the president getting kidnapped by terrorists, and he goes, it's really hard to do those movies nowadays and have your root for the the CIA.
He's also in the Watchmen movie, which I'm a big fan of. But yeah, he was like, I want way more of him. Or I was waiting for like something that he was doing to him. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's such a great character that just never really came of anything. So
yeah, but to their credit though, sometimes when you have a character like that, they work best as being just that foil that comes in and out. Whereas I think I do think if I do think that character had the opportunity to become obnoxious if they left him in there for too long.
Yeah. The woman who plays the woman that he kind of obsesses over, she is a French Canadian actress. All of her movies kind of have like French titles. There's one that I thought was very interesting. Where did it go on her IMDb?
This is great radio here.
I know, and I can't find it.
We'll just move on. If you can find it eventually, you can talk about it.
Right. What I do think is funny is that, and I'm obviously there's no way of knowing this, is 2 episodes of Masters of Horror in a row feature an actor who plays Jack Torrance. Of the 3 actors who have played Jack Torrance, we've got 2 of them back-to-back episodes.
That's actually very, very interesting. And I like the main actor too. He's been in some good. He has a laundry list too.
Actor,
yeah, he has a laundry list. Obviously, The Kid from E.T., Suicide Kings, which I think is a really underrated movie with Christopher Walken and Dennis Leary. Ouija, Origin of Evil. He was in Gerald's Game.
Pet Sematary, he's like now one of the Mike Flanagan troop actors.
Yeah.
Okay, the movie title I was looking for is How My Mother Gave Birth to Me During Menopause.
It sounds like an interesting short film.
But yeah, this wasn't bad. It wasn't abrasive as an episode. It was just kind of meh.
Yeah, I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Especially after the last episode, Jennifer, which is kind of similar about a man who becomes obsessed with a woman and kind of spirals out of control, is much, much better. And does kind of a lot of the same tropes this one does, to much better effect.
Yeah, I wasn't on the podcast last week. I'm sorry, everybody. It's been a hellish month at my job, but I did watch Jennifer just the day before I watched this one. And yeah, Jennifer, and it's probably also too, Jennifer is still pretty fresh in my mind. I really enjoyed that one compared to this one that I found to be pretty mediocre.
Yeah. So far, Jennifer is my favorite of the episodes thus far. All right. Well, we lost Jody, so we're not going to find out what he has to say. Mondo, what do you rate this episode?
A solid 2.5, which was kind of right in the middle. Again, first 2 acts, I think. The first act, I think, is very strong. Second act is a little bit weaker, and I think it kind of falls off in the third act. And it's really hard when it's almost even more jarring when an episode starts off strongly, and then by the end it really fizzles out, because it's almost takes away your enjoyment of the beginning too, because all you are left with is kind of a bad taste in your mouth. But I don't think it was a bad episode by any means. I just don't think it was one I'd recommend people going out of the way to see.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna go 2, just because because it has that setup where it's like, okay, we're only like there's that narrative device where he's being interviewed by a cop. We're only focusing on him, and like it's promising something that never delivers on, and that's just like a bigger crime. I like the first half or so. Once he like leaves town to go looking for her, just nothing happens. All just kind of falls apart.
Yeah, and that trope you mentioned with the talking head with the police officer,
Mhm.
like so many movies have done that, and so many TV shows have done that, and there's nothing wrong with it. But like you said, when you see that now, you expect them to do something with it, and it seems like it was just there to drive the plot forward and to give a
Mhm.
little bit of exposition, as opposed to like it
Mhm.
didn't need to be in there. It could have not been in there, and nothing would have changed.
Yeah, there's a Walter Hill episode, Tales from the Crypt, that does that. It's one about the news writer following
Yes.
like a murderer, and I can't remember which one it's called, but yeah, it kind of has that, but turns out he's in prison or like that. Like there's a big like twist about it.
Yeah.
That like recontextualizes everything we've seen. So I was waiting for that to happen, and when it didn't, I was just like even more annoyed.
Yeah, yeah, and come to
It's
think
not.
about it, I think it'd been better to leave that part out of it. I think it would have
Yes.
made the episode
Yeah.
better.
It didn't add anything to it. Like I said, it's not an abrasive episode. It's not an annoying episode. It just doesn't really follow through.
I did definitely enjoy again, and maybe this is part of Mick putting his character in there because I think I love the side scientist character to the Matt Farrer character
Mhm.
too, because he's a guy who's in his 40s still doing like the childish shit that he loves. And I think it's cool that we embrace that nowadays. When in 2005, 20 years ago when this came out, like it wasn't like it is now, where you didn't have 40-year-olds like us doing podcasts and playing with
Mhm.
Legos and playing video games and shit like that. I mean, you did, but it wasn't as socially acceptable as it is now.
Right.
And I wonder if that character was kind of Mick Garris is putting a lot of himself in that character
Yeah.
as being like, because the character was played kind of for laughs, but it's also played like, but they never look at him like he's a dweeb or like
Mhm.
they never play him like he's this bad person because he still embraces these things he loved as a child. He's still playing music at his age. And I felt very seen by that character. So
Yeah.
I really loved that character. I just want
We
to
saw
point
a
that
whole
out again.
spin-off series with him.
Yeah.
But
Except
like,
for
yeah,
like,
Mick Garrison is a musician.
yeah.
So that felt very cool. It's funny because my favorite things I've seen memes is that like podcasting for us is what like garage bands used to be for guys like in the 70s and 80s.
I mean, I still do both.
Yeah.
but I see it. Yeah, I can definitely see that being similar because probably the guys in their 40s putting together garage bands in the 80s and 90s was just an excuse to hang out with their buddies
Yeah.
and do something that wasn't just drinking or whatever.
Mhm.
And yeah, I guess I mean, I'm drinking my hard Mountain Dew while we
Yeah, exactly.
it's just it's a fucking excuse to hang out with your friends. There's nothing wrong. I know. I mean, I'd love to monetize this at some point. Don't get me wrong. I think everybody would, but I don't necessarily think that's much like a garage band. That's a necessity. You do it because
Right.
you enjoy doing it, and whatever comes of it is just the icing on the cake.
It's just people coming together to appreciate something they love and enjoy.
And I think I kind of write better music now. I'm at 43 now. Fuck, I just turned 43 than I did at 21 or whatever, because it's just I don't know. You get a higher level of just life experience. I don't want to say sophistication. Life experience is kind of what leads you to all this bullshit. But if there's a moral in that story, it's don't stop doing what you love just because you age. Like there's.
Or you can find different ways of appreciating things you love or engaging with it.
Yeah. Like if you've always wanted to start a band and you're 40 and you're picking up a guitar, fuck it, go start a band. Go be shitty in your garage. Who cares? It's for you. Go have a good time. Whatever it is. If you feel like doing martial arts, go. I'm biased, but go start martial arts. It's fucking great. Yeah. It's great to be the old guy in the gym.
I did like, again, because it's showtime, they can like, oh, do you want some vitamin C? And they hand them some Coke.
Oh, yeah. The fucking vitamin C.
Yeah, that's funny.
I wonder if, I know, like I've been reading that, alcoholism use or alcohol use is going way down with the modern generation. I have a theory on that too. Nothing profound. It's that fucking alcohol so goddamn expensive nowadays. It's and younger people today have way more sophisticated palates than we had at that age. When we're like, just give me that. You can't buy $2 bottles of Boone's Farm anymore.
Yeah. Well, and it's just,
and they're smarter than us.
So much crap in it. Yeah.
Yeah, kids are also smarter than us. Like newsflash, people our age and old people, the younger generation is smarter than we are. It's just how it is.
Yeah. All right, let's do a quick Shout outs. We'll do a music themed one.
Hi, I'm Heidi Haddad from Slumber Party Massacre 2, Friday the 13th, and Society. You're listening to Dads from the Crypt.
See? Love it. All right, Mondo, give us your song of the day.
Very unprepared for this section now because I had given Jody the green light to do the song of the day this week because there's a current song he's in love with. So I'm gonna let him do that next time he's on. So I'm gonna wing it, and just a song recently. It's not. This is by no means a new song or a song that. Basically, if you're listening to this and you have if you're a metalhead, you've heard this song before, but it's a song that I've just been stuck on for the past week. I don't know why. And there are two different versions of it. One is the one by the original band, and one is the cover that the band Death did back on the Sound of Perseverance record, which I think came out in 2001, which is the last record before Chuck Schuldiner passed away. And I've used Death before as being the first ever death metal band, and Chuck Schuldiner just being a gem of a human being. I've talked about him before. He's a guy that would wear like white t-shirts with kitty cats on it to interviews because he was really trying to break down the stigma of just because we like this extreme form of music doesn't mean we're these extreme angry people. That's just kind of our outlet for some of this stuff. And if you guys ever go to a music venue and you ask them who the nicest fans are, they'll generally say metalheads. I'm just saying. It's just I'm patting us on the back here. But the song is Painkiller, which originally came out on the Judas Priest record of the same name. Or was it the same name? God, see, I'm having a total brain fart here. No, the album was Painkiller. It came out in 1990, I believe, and it was kind of Judas Priest going from this original sound of being like new wave of British heavy metal to them kind of going thrash on this record. If you haven't heard Painkiller, it is one of the most iconic drum intros in the history of music. And even if like right now you're driving in your car and you're thinking, what fucking song is that? I promise you, if you put it on and you think you've heard it before, when you hear the drum intro, it's all going to click. And probably also, this is also widely regarded as probably Priest's best record. And fun fact about Rob Halford is that Rob Halford really was into underground music. Like he actually took in Europe a lot of underground metal bands at the time on tour with him. I remember when he toured the States back in 2001, the tour got canceled, but he was bringing an Immortal, a Norwegian black metal band, with him to tour, just because he really did appreciate that style of heavier music. So shout out to Rob Halford, and shout out to Rob Halford for having the balls to come out in a very male dominated masculine, art form and saying like, I'm gay and I'm here and fucking deal with it. Rob's a good dude. Also a very, very funny guy. He, if I'm not mistaken, he one time made Sebastian Bach quit a podcast by making a gay joke at him or something like that. But making a joke at his own expense. But it made this, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't name names. It might not have been Sebastian Bach, but he made whoever was on the other end of that podcast, their fragile masculinity shine through. So I love Rob Halford. So check it out, either Judas Priest version or Death's version, or even better, listen to them back to back and you can kind of hear the difference. Death's version is fun too because it's Richard Christie, who ended up being the joke guy in Howard Stern, playing drums on that whole record, and just that guy's fucking a beast on the drum kit.
Nice. All right, thank you, Mondo. Oh, so last week I did Saxon. Do you have an opinion on them?
I was never a huge Saxon fan, but if you're into that like original new wave of British heavy metal style, they are a cornerstone band of that style and have influenced countless other bands. They're a great band, just one I never really super got into. But if people enjoy like that early 80s heavy metal, be it Diamond Head, Tigers of Painting, Judas Priest, they similarities to Iron Maiden. I think Maiden just did it better than everybody else did. The first Def Leppard record, you could argue, is new wave of British heavy metal. They're all they're in that vein, and they're stalwarts of heavy metal. They still play today.
Yeah,
I caught them, I think, like 5 or 6 years ago out here at Count Vamped, or it might have been pre-pandemic, and they were still fucking good. They're a fun live show.
Yeah, a band I was familiar with, like just as iconography, but I was never really listening to music much. But through word association, I used one of their songs last week, and I've been listening to them. I'm like, it's really good.
Yeah, Saxon's a really good band, and probably one that I owe it to them to give them to listen to them again, because one of the hard parts, I think one of the bad raps that a lot of those, I should say bad raps, but Metallica of all bands, they were heavy into that scene, and they recorded, Am I Evil?
Diamond Head, yeah, I love Diamond.
Yeah, but a lot of what they did a lot of covers of these new wave of British heavy metal bands, and they talked about them in length as the bands that inspired them. So I think when I first started listening to them back when I was in high school, I expected them to be heavier, more aggressive, and I kind of wrote them off. So I probably do owe them another listen at this point, because I mean, that's history. That's where like the stuff nowadays, it was all rooted in that original era.
Yeah.
I have a couple fun trivia facts here for our listeners. So this episode came out 2005, November 5th. The number one movie in the country. Do you want to take a stab at it? Stab at it.
It was too early for Scream 3.
Yeah, no, it has nothing to do with Scream. It was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire.
God damn it. I was like, it's too late for Scream 3, too early for Scream 4.
I'm sorry. I just thought that was funny. And the number one song in the country.
Just trolled me. That was it.
Yeah, I felt pretty good about that one. So the number one movie in the country is based off a book by a transphobe. So it makes sense that the number one song in the country is done by misogynist woman beater. It was Chris Brown's "Run It" was the number one song in the country.
Oh,
great times early.
Great times. And we were at war with a Middle Eastern country.
Yeah,
we're not. I don't want to.
We're
going to get into that with the next episode.
So I got two quick funny anecdotes / observations of the world around us, Jason. And if you go to Germany, this isn't going where you're thinking.
That's a new segment. If you go to Germany.
So my company's based out of a small city in Bavaria called Regensburg. Regensburg is considered a pre-war city because it was never bombed during the Second World War. When you say pre-war in Germany, everybody knows you mean prior to World War II or World War One. When you say pre-war in America, it's like when? Like when? My house is built in 1989, fucking pre-war. Like every fucking, can we just go like 20 years without fucking shooting missiles at somebody? That's all I ask. I ask in 2026, in a civilized society where we can have podcasts and movies and we can talk to people across the sea while we're playing video games or whatever. Can we just stop trying to solve conflict by killing one another? That's all I ask in this world. Yeah. I don't think it's a very difficult ask. And that's my only soapbox for the evening. I just don't want anyone to die, regardless of fucking where they're from, what they look like. I just want us as people to be like, we're all just people. We all fucking bleed red. Let's just fucking bleed red together. Let's not bleed red together. Let's just leave all of our blood inside our bodies where it fucking belongs.
I will say, want to give a movie recommendation. I watched Nuremberg on Netflix. It just came out. It's with Rami Malek and Russell Crowe.
It looks so good. I'm afraid to watch it right now.
Yeah, it actually is one of the most easiest to digest, watchable Holocaust movies, if you can say it that way. Okay. Like they show some footage during the trial of the atrocities, and it's very hard to watch, but they build up to it because it's really about Rami Malek is a psychologist brought in by the army to talk to the war criminals that they're about to put on trial, and they're like trying to become friends with it. Like it's like he's trying to get into their heads, and they're just like kind of being friendly with him. And it's like, are these monsters are still people, and like they can be charming, they can be funny, but they still did these terrible things.
Did you see Zone of Interest?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a much easier to watch version of that. It's like the Forrest Gump version of that movie. It's kind of how I thought of it. Where like,
I think it's the only time anyone's ever going to refer to a movie as the Forrest Gump of Holocaust movies.
Well, like we're thinking like these like big heavy things that kind of like make them a little more easy to digest. And like you said, they still go hard eventually, but like for the first like 2/3 of it is kind of this like I don't know exactly how to explain it, but it's very, very good, very watchable.
Nice.
But it gets into the issues, but a lot of it is kind of this I don't know exactly how to say this kind of, it's not comedy per se, but it's like absurdist in its own way of just like, a shrink talking to, the head of, the Nazi regimes.
Thank you for clarifying that a movie about the Holocaust is not a comedy. I appreciate that.
Right.
Because Zone of Interest was one of those movies that I found to be like unreal how good it was, but also it was the way it framed these horrors made them almost more horrific. As you saw this family and I won't spoil if people haven't seen it yet. It's a very difficult watch, but it's a great watch because you see this family doing normal everyday family things while the burning fires of Auschwitz is in the background, and you hear the screams of fucking of prisoners, and that made that movie so difficult to watch.
Right. Where this movie again, it's the point is that these people were captured, the head of the the Nazi regimes that were left. And they're being put on trial, but again, it treats them as, it doesn't treat them, but they're trying to make themselves be seen as we're just people following orders. Look at us. And it kind of tricks you into lulling into the idea of that. You don't sympathize with them per se, but like you can see how someone like.
Yeah, you can
relate to like that, but then once they get into the trial, they start showing footage. And it's the first time that footage was ever shown publicly, and people are just like, "Oh my god!"
There was a really interesting movie, God, years ago I think it was called Compliance.
Yep,
and it was kind of in the same vein of kind of trying to pick apart the psychology of what people will do, just if they're doing their job, and I think everyone to some extent has been in that position, right? And I don't mean that like as in a very like volatile or very aggressive way, but imagine when you were 16 and working at a movie theater and someone dropped their drink and you want to give them a free drink because you felt bad. And your boss is like, nope. It's in that same vein, and obviously there are levels to this, right? But that's what I'm trying to say. It's like it's really interesting to explore like how far people will go under the premise or under the guise of it's okay because I'm just doing my job. Because yeah, it's a weird dichotomy, and I don't want to get too deep into that, but it's just interesting to see the psychological levels of play there.
The way people can be manipulated,
and we've all probably been guilty of it at some point in our lives, right?
I was hearing about this book that's like the 13 crimes you commit a day. It's supposed to like the average person commits like 13 quote crime things that could be taken as crimes.
That's interesting. That's real interesting. Do you have an example of one that a lot of people do that just don't realize it?
I have to look it up, but I'll have to find it. But like, I'm sure there's plenty of small things like just crossing the street,
or speeding. You go 1 mile over the speed limit on the way to work, you're speeding. Yeah, you broke a law.
Yeah, exactly. So like, if they wanted to get you for something, if they had like other ulterior motives, how easy it would be for any person to be, arrested for something.
That's kind of super interesting, and especially as the world becomes more and more like for a guy that I work in surveillance, right? I work in that industry, and it's kind of crazy because most of surveillance is forensic. It's not live. Like if you're at a casino table and you're playing like $10,000 hands of blackjack, you're probably being watched live because there's a lot of money exchanging hands, and both. And also just to point it out this way, just because the casino is not always watching out just for them. They're watching out for you as the player too, because if you get underpaid, they will take care of that because they want to make sure that, because if not, it fucks their books up. And then if you come back in the casino finding it underpaid, it's as bad for everybody, right? But a lot of it's forensic, but it's kind of crazy the amount of forensic evidence that is out there on all of us.
Oh yeah.
And
they're building new data centers to like store all of our information.
Yeah, and how much you could see like somebody do something on camera and take it completely out of context because all you see is the physical action of what someone's doing, not what led up to it, not why it happened, not the sounds that were going on at the time, or what they were saying at the time. So it's kind of insane in that matter. And when you realize like how much, because newsflash, if you go in public, you are on camera somewhere. Doesn't necessarily mean that footage still exists, because most places, even casinos, I think most casinos is, well, I'll peel back the onion a little bit. Most casinos do a minimum of 14 days of retention time for the recording. So if anybody out there ever wonders why when they see that like shitty grainy video still, it's because yes, good cameras aren't that expensive, but they have to record 24/7. That takes a lot of fucking recording space. So they tend to use some of the cheaper cameras to circumvent that.
Yeah, times like 100 cameras.
I mean, 100 cameras for like a Target. For a casino, you're talking between probably 800 and 3,000 cameras for a decent size casino. Yeah. So it's, but
it's exponential.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy when you think about like how someone could see you doing something that you just found to be completely innocent, and someone can take it a completely opposite way.
It's like you ever like you're going grocery shopping, you're thirsty, and you like pick up a water bottle and you open it, and you're gonna pay for it. You never do that?
I've honestly never done that. Yeah.
Sometimes because they have like cold drinks everywhere, so like I'll just open.
I know. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with.
And I scan it at the end, and the person's like, "Oh, do you want me to throw that away for you?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, I'm not.
Someone being like, "Oh my god, you shoplifted."
Yeah. Well, technically, it's not theft until you leave the store with it. Like you could walk through a convenience store or a store and just keep shoving shit in your pockets. And as long as you fucking take it all your pockets and pay for it, you might get some weird looks, but it's not illegal. Now, but they could ask you to leave if they wanted you to leave. They thought you're going to steal. Don't get me wrong. There are two different things. But yeah, I've honestly never done that. And I'm not saying it's because I'm like better than anybody, but no, I just haven't. Like, there's no good reason why I have or haven't. I've honestly just never thought of it.
All right, let's do some horror news.
I'm gonna steal so much Gatorade now from the store.
I mean, I get so tired going grocery shopping sometimes. I'm just like, I need to pick me up,
dude. Curbside pickup, man. That's the.
No, I need to pick my own stuff. I don't trust people.
I do that. I do that too when it comes to produce. Like my wife hates going inside the store, but like I'll go in because I also like to get clearance meat when I can find clearance meat.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't have a cart. If I can't carry it in my arms, I don't need it.
Really?
I do not. I refuse to push a shopping cart around the store.
Why is that?
Because I don't like it. It's this fucking big cumbersome they have to push around, and then it's an annoyance. Like it's like one of those video games where you have to fucking escort a dumbass character. You're like, why the fuck do I have to escort this dumbass here? And you're fucking running, and like, where the fuck did Broomhilda go? And you turn around, and they're fucking just like running in place against the fucking wall. It's like, god damn it! Is the fucking computer so stupid that I can't? That's how I feel with a shopping cart.
Wow.
And yeah,
I guess when I'm shopping for a family of 4 with kids who just like go through milk and berries and oranges nonstop, there's no way I can hold all that.
That sounds like you can hold a carton of milk, bag of oranges, container of berries. Just say no. I'm not against people using shopping carts. Some people should not be allowed to use shopping carts. Well, if you're fucking walk around the grocery store with a whole goddamn shopping cart and you have like 3 things in there when you get to the checkout, you can go fucking eat a bag of dicks, unless you're fucking have an injury and you're using it for support or you're old. That's the only options. Other than that, there's other options. Like if you're pregnant, yeah, use a shopping cart to lean on. I'm backtracking here because now I feel bad about saying that, because I'm sure there are valid reasons why someone.
I've never felt so attacked for using a shopping cart.
But you're putting a lot of things in the shopping cart, right?
Yeah. Well, okay.
Okay.
No, yeah. And I just had a flashback when I was in high school. I worked at a grocery store pushing carts. But it's like a mega grocery store. So basically, that's all I did all day.
I pushed carts at Target and Kmart, so I feel you.
Yeah. It's only in Northwest thing, but it's Fred Meyer's. It's just like huge, like mega.
I know
store.
Fred Meyer's. Yeah, from I travel for work.
I'm
a man of culture over here. But anyhow, no, I'm a big fan of just like if I'll carry a hand basket. That's as far as I go. And also like, okay, here I'll backtrack again. When I buy groceries, I'm buying for 2 people. Like, I tend not to do large grocery trips because I don't know what I'm going to want to eat in 3 days. So I'll get enough for a couple days and then figure it out from there. Yeah, it makes me go to the grocery store more often, but it also means I'm not throwing food away most of the time, which is nice.
Now I'm just like imagining someone at your grocery store listening to our podcast judging you for the one time you use a grocery cart.
It's not going to be me. That's the thing. It's just not going to be me. I'm just not going to use
like a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. We're like the one time you need to use one for some like really obscure reason.
I will carry fuck, dude, I've carried IKEA furniture to the front of the front side. No, I'm just kidding. If I'm at Home Depot or IKEA and I need fucking like lumber, it's a flatbed.
Yeah.
I'm getting a flatbed. I get it. But what I'm saying is I try not to use a shopping cart for groceries, but I'm just being a dick about it. Like I don't care if people do it or not. I just don't like having to push a shopping cart, is what it comes down to. But I will judge the fuck out of you if you're one of those people that do not return your cart to the cart corral.
Yeah. Oh, they're the worst. That should be a crime.
Well, and I actually had this happen the day at the grocery store. I was walking by. I was walking towards the. I was walking out of the store with carrying my bag in my hand because I'm not a fucking. And then there's an older woman who's putting her stuff in her cart. As I walked by, she emptied it, and she was like, "I'm sorry. Do you mind putting this in the corral for me? It's hard for me to walk." I'm like, by all means, I would love to put that cart in the corral for you, and thank you for utilizing your resources. That's thinking up here.
Oh man. All right. I just pulled up a couple horror news things real quick since Jody's not here.
You talking about grocery carts?
We keep talking about grocery carts.
Okay, because I do have. There are of people. There are groups of people that will get a pass for not returning their cart to the cart corral. If you have
a corral,
what else are you supposed to fucking call it? The cart return? You fucking.
I never call it anything. Just the place to put the cart backs.
So there's no room. When you say, "Hey, would you take the cart back to the place?" Because if you want your son to take the cart back to the cart corral, what do you tell him?
Put it over there.
So where's over there?
The carts collection area.
Okay.
No, that's the corral's a good word for it. I just never heard it called that.
You fucking liberal Californians. Over in California over there. But no, I have seen this before too. I'll give a lot of people a pass. If you have little small children that you have to strap into the car, and you just put the cart nearby because you don't want to walk 30 feet and leave your kids unattended, I got you. I respect that. I get it. Like, I'd rather you not leave your children unattended because sure, people be like, it's only 30 feet. Yeah, but someone decides to carjack you in that 30 fucking feet. Like, yeah.
Or a kid runs out of the car. Yeah, it only takes a second.
I remember when I was young though, and I worked for Target. And I was in high school still, and a woman had accidentally locked her child in the car. When I say accidentally, like she literally got out of the car, closed her door, and was like, "Fuck, my keys are inside there, and my child's in the back seat," and she got arrested.
Really?
They had her husband come pick the kids and arrest her for leaving their kids in the car, even though we were like, because I actually would talk to the police because they asked me about it. I was outside pushing carts, and I said, no, like I saw her literally get out of her car and turn back around and start freaking out because she couldn't get her kid out of the car. She wasn't being negligent. She made a simple mistake, and she got arrested. I don't know. Obviously, I didn't follow the case. This is back in 2000, 25 years ago. But I remember the cops came and arrested her, and I always felt bad for her because I don't feel like she didn't do anything wrong. It's not like she went shopping and then came out to her kids. No, she didn't even walk 5 feet from her car, and she was yelling for help.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they just like said, okay, we're just gonna let you off or something like that. Like it's one of those things that, like, yeah, I'm glad there's a law against people doing that, but mistakes like that happen. Like right there, it's
it'd have been different if she locked her kids in the car and went inside, went shopping, and came out and couldn't get them out of the car. Big difference. But just like when you lock your keys in your car and turn around, like, oh my god, what just happened? Thank God for modern technology and fucking key fobs. Like my car will not let me lock my keys in the car.
Right.
If I leave my keys in the car and try to lock it, it's just like, no, we're right here. Your keys are right here. You cannot lock this car.
Yeah, no, I mean, I used to do that quite often, so I'm like really happy we finally we MacGyvered our way out of that one.
Another thing that I never had to really worry about, because when I was younger, my first vehicle, my van, the doors just didn't lock. It was great.
All right, maybe we'll do some more horror news now. The only really big one I have is that Undertone is about to release wide. It's getting very good buzz. And the director has been tapped to direct the 8th Paranormal Activity movie. I'm excited for this one. So for Undertone, I was getting like, so it's kind of like a buzz. So you know, I enjoy the Paranormal Activity movies. They're like, you know, they're formulaic, but they have, you throw one on and it's always a good time. That last one though wasn't very good. The Amish one.
I didn't.
I
Was that
hate it, but I don't love
the
it.
marked ones?
No, there was one that came out. It was barely related to anything Paranormal Activity. Like it was like out of the continuity. It was like they just kind of slapped the name on.
Okay, I'm having a hard time remembering it. I liked the first 4. I actually liked.
Oh, Next of Kin. That's what it's called.
Next of Kin. I want to say that I did not hate it, but I also don't.
You just called something else. It didn't need to be a Paranormal Activity movie.
Can I bring up? Oh, sorry. Good.
I say it just annoys me when they're like, "We have a cool idea for a movie, but we want to market it by associating with another property that has nothing to do with it."
Yeah,
I'm like a very tenuous connection just to like, but it's usually to the detriment of the quality of the movie. Anyways.
Yeah, I'll blame the I'm gonna go and blame the studios for that one though, because that's a lot of times why that happens. As we're recording this, we're recording on a Wednesday. Tomorrow, Undertone, Thursday night obviously releases in theaters. I will be seeing that tomorrow if all goes well, because I missed Dolly in the theater and I'm really bummed about that because I'm so excited to see Dolly. The one of the stars of that is Max the Impaler. I think we talked about that. They're a non-binary pro wrestler and a fucking badass. They wrestle in Japan a lot. A really good wrestler. But also coming out the week this releases is going to be Ready or Not 2.
Yeah.
And then another movie I'm really excited for releases the following week. They Will Kill You. Have you seen the trailer for that?
Yeah, that's the one that's in the hotel or something.
It looks like it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun.
I'm afraid the trailer showed too much, and it feels very Ready or Not esque. I'll still watch it.
Definitely.
I'm just not going to run to the theater. But those are two kind of things that kind of get my like my radar like worried.
And also something I did last year, the Unnamed Footage Festival 9 comes out. It's going to be March 26th to the 29th. It's a film festival based out of California, I believe, but they do have a virtual program to it. And I did it last year and had a lot of fun with it. Saw a lot of interesting films. So highly recommend people checking that out. Unnamed Footage Festival 9.
Film Festival. Where is this one going to be? Found footage and POV.
I like the sucker. I'm a sucker for found footage. I love found footage. Like I think like when found footage movies are bad, they're still interesting usually at least. So I really enjoyed this film. Plus their website is phenomenal.
I'm on the website right now and it's blowing my fucking mind.
Their website is basically it's like you're looking at a Windows 3.1 computer. For any of you, any of you old people out there like us, you guys remember Windows 3.1. It came out before Windows 95 to show how old we are. But to any youngsters out there, if you want to see what Windows 3.1 look like, check this website out. It's even got an icon for the Winamp player.
Yeah. Well, it's got like a Clippy clone.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
So I think we just broke Jason's brain here, but
you really did. I don't know what the hell's happening. I'm trying to figure out where it is.
So just a little.
Francisco.
We'll try to make Jason happy here because also Jody and I are going to try to get a Patreon release done for Whistle, because we both watch Whistle and we both enjoyed it. I've watched Cold Storage recently, which I'm going to say is a hell of a lot of fun.
Yeah, but I'm going to try to watch that.
I think you'll enjoy it. It's I don't know if it's not just Jody Mondo fun. This is also Jason fun too. And but I'm gonna try to do some reviews for some of the stuff I see at Unnamed Footage Festival. It's tough sometimes because like I'll watch these movies late at night when I'm tired or when I've had an edible in me. I shouldn't be recording after that. But I'd like to do some reviews for it and give them a shout out because I had a lot of fun with I didn't talk about it much last year because I was on a work trip and just needed my fix. I was having a rough time, so I went and paid the money for the virtual badge and ended up having a really good time. So I'll hopefully do some reviews on that this in the near future when this fest is going on.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that brings us to the end of our episode.
I would say our dad advice was don't use a shopping cart if you can help it.
Oh yeah.
Furthermore,
yes. Furthermore,
if you don't understand how self-checkout works, and the grocery store is busy, that is not the time to learn how self-checkout works. There are lines open for people just like you who just want someone to ring their groceries up for them.
You know, as someone who has worked in self-service technology for quite a while at this point, I still intentionally try to go to the people line, like the man line.
I love self-checkout because as a guy who's just has social anxiety, it makes me feel nice. I feel like I'm not being judged for what I'm buying, even though like, I don't know why anybody judge me for buying fucking pork rinds. But but I will say though, at least once a week, I scan something, put it in the bag, and that little fucking thing comes up, says attendants on their way, and I'm just like, fuck my life. Like, why the fuck is the attendant on their way? All I did was scan the item and put it in the goddamn bag. But and also self-checkout is not a place for more than like 15 to 20 items. If you have
most, like I said, vast majority of times I go to the grocery store, I'm buying for the whole family. So that won't work. Like if I'm doing something like quick, like a 1 or 2 items, okay, maybe I'll do it. But like, so I work for healthcare technologies though, for self-check-in, and that's different. It's a whole different thing. But at the grocery store, I'm like, we don't need this many self-checkout things. Let's hire some cashiers.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea for it, and they try to present it like it's convenient. And don't get me wrong, it is convenient when you only have one or a few items, right? Mm-hmm. It's very convenient, but the real idea is like, let's have one person do the job of 5.
Yeah. And there still needs to be jobs for people to maintain them and program them and do all that stuff. So it's like, it's not taking away a ton of, it's more like this one grocery store reduced like 2/3 of their cashier lines with self-checkout lines. I was kind of pissed about that.
If you ever go to Walmart, I hate going to Walmart when I have to go. Self-checkout is bliss at Walmart because it used to be you'd have to wait in line for like 20 minutes to get checked out. With self-checkout, it does make it a lot quicker when I'm in there just to buy like, because it's one where I buy my gym. So if like it's 5 a.m, I get done to the gym and I forget to fucking buy, like I've forgotten a work shirt. I'm like, God damn it. I have to go buy a polo shirt. I can go to Walmart and buy a polo shirt and be in and out in 5 minutes, as opposed to what it used to be. So I actually really do appreciate self-checkout in that factor and not having to talk to anybody at the grocery stand. I'm sounding like a grumpy old fucking man. Jesus Christ.
That's our vibe tonight.
Our vibe is grumpy. If you're under the age of 40 and you're still listening to us, fucking, I love you so much.
Mondo, you really need to go watch some Paddington after this. That's my prescription for you.
Dude, I gotta be up for the gym in, let's say, 7 hours.
All right, well, let's get you on your way. That wraps up another episode. We appreciate everyone for listening. We would really appreciate if you give us a rating or review on iTunes or rating on Spotify. Like and subscribe on YouTube, and follow us at Dads From The Crypt Talk on TikTok. And with that, I thank you for listening to Dads From The Crypt.
Follow Dads From The Crypt on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, or I will follow you to the grave. No, seriously, you really should watch. But be careful what you ask for. You may get it.